Welcome back. Well, few things are in life are more annoying than phone scams. They can be costly and dangerous, and when someone tries to steal your money or your personal information, it makes you mad. Research shows it's a bigger problem than ever. Almost half of all mobile calls right now are a scam. Karen Stiles says, "Don't give in to them." She's the director of TMJ4 News Call for Action. Good to see you, Karen.
Good to see you, Tiffany. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for joining us. When we talk about these phone scams, I think they make everybody mad because they tend to prey on the most vulnerable in our community. And I feel like I even got one the other day, someone calling saying they wanted to buy my home. They were just driving by. And I'm like, but he sounded so friendly. Are you hearing a lot of scams right now happening to people?
We are. Everybody is home and bored if they're a scammer, but if they're not a scammer, the scammers are looking at this as a great opportunity to get them. Some of the most common ones that we're hearing about right now are the fake Apple calls saying that there's a problem with your computer or your iCloud account, even if you don't have an iCloud account, or the fake We Energies calls saying that they're going to disconnect within 30 minutes, or Social Security calling, and they are trying to get all kinds of personal information.
Okay, so how do you know if something's a scam? Because say you do have Apple and we, or you're worried about your Social Security. What are the clues to tip you off?
Well, most important in all three of these examples, these companies will not contact you for this type of an issue unless you contacted them first. Also, big tip off if you're being asked for personal information that they should have already, or even worse, they're telling you that you need to pay right away via an eBay card, an iTunes card, a Green Dot card, or wire funds. Huge tip off that this is a scam. If you get calls like this, your best bet is to make sure don't to not trust that phone number that they're giving you on either caller ID or telling you to call back. They've gotten very good with tricking people with that. Check that number out on a bill that you have or through another legitimate source. You can always contact our call for action office if you want to verify those numbers as well.
That's great. Are there other things that you should do or should not do if you get one of these calls?
You cannot always trust caller ID. They've gotten very good at spoofing that. If
Mm.
possible, try to screen all your calls. Do not pick up. If you do accidentally pick up or you don't know, try to hang up as soon as you can without providing any personal information or pushing any buttons. If you continue to get these calls, you can file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission. There's lots of other different ways to help you that I can go into as well.
But how can you get the calls to stop? Because I feel like, our phones have gotten a little bit better at saying potential spam, but a lot of times these calls don't always come up, like you mentioned, as potential spam. So we may feel that they're more legitimate. So is there a way to get them to stop coming to your phone?
There are a few things that you can do. Number one, a lot of people will tell us, but I registered for the do not call list. Scammers don't care about a do not call list. They don't care about breaking the law, period. But contact your phone provider. A lot of the phone providers have put together call blocking services to help get rid of some of these calls. You can also download apps like Nomo Robo is one of them that can help to block some of these calls from coming in. And there's also some robo blocking devices that you can use as well. Not everything is foolproof, but if these can cut down a few of these calls for you, that can really help. Most important, don't be picking up multiple calls if you can avoid it. It seems like what we're hearing is that people who tend to pick up these calls seem to be getting, especially if they fall for the scam, are at more risk for getting more and more of these calls.
It's like they almost give the green light on their number, right? So you got to make sure that you're not doing that.
Right. You've got to be so careful with this because, as you had mentioned before, these calls sound so legitimate and they can be so scary. And we're hearing, unfortunately, of people that have lost quite a bit of money with this. Whenever their goal is to try to scare you into providing information right away, but do your best to just say, you know what, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to check this out to make sure that this is legit before I follow through on what they want me to do.
And it's amazing because people can contact you guys at Call for Action. You're volunteers. We've been around for over 20 years here, and you help with everything, right? From helping with these scams, mediation, referrals, to finding more help.
Absolutely. Our staff, unfortunately, is somewhat limited right now because of the whole situation with COVID, but we are still here. They can certainly call and leave a message. We will call them back. Otherwise, they can also contact us by going to tmj4.com/call for action and fill out an online complaint as well.
Love it. Thanks so much for joining us, Karen. Good to see you.
You too. Have a great day.
You bet. Here's the information for Call for Action. It's 414-967-5495. And the email is callforaction@tmj4.com.